It's currently 10:18 p.m. Not too long ago, Dad got back from Salvatore's. He got what's called a Chicken Charlie pizza. It's essentially a crispy chicken pizza on a sauce base that's a mixture of blue cheese sauce and sweet and sour sauce. From what I recall. And Dad also brought home this cupcake for me, as there was a birthday party at Salvatore's. I recall waking up and getting up around 6:30 in the morning. And then around 6:45 in the morning, I had a cup of plain coffee with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Where the bread was moderately toasted. Then in the roughly hour or so between Dad dropping me off at the Wegmans I work at and the start of my shift today, I mostly sat in the break room while sipping at a thermos of plain coffee. Dad gave me on Saturday. And then I accidentally left it. In the break room refrigerator. After my shift that day. I didn't notice anything wrong with the coffee. Despite it being about 2 days old. My shift today went well. It lasted roughly from 8 in the morning to 4:30 p.m. I recall taking my first 15-minute break around about a handful of minutes before 11. As by that point, there was some difficulty in finding things within the produce section that needed to be restocked. And it only got mildly easier to find things to restock as by noon, a more experienced coworker I considered to be like a supervisor had left for the day. And by 3:30 p.m., another coworker who has often helped me to find things within the production holding area. I mean, the produce holding area, including within the produce cooler section. Also left for the day. So for much of my shift today, especially later on, I essentially worked independently. At times, restocking the bananas. Yeah, but also at one point restocking the mushroom section. And earlier on, the carrots within the carrots and celery section. I took my lunch at 2 p.m., getting to the cafe part of the supermarket within 4 minutes. More like 3, since I had to go from the produce section to the break room area to get my lunch. Which took a bit of time, even though the produce section is right next to the break room area, or at least one of the break room areas. And so ultimately 3 or so minutes to get to the cafe part of the supermarket, since by this point, I know the way to go. The way from the produce section to that cafe, part of the supermarket. I took my second and last 15-minute break around 3:30 p.m. Rather than 4 p.m. Since at 3:30 p.m. I wasn't busy restocking anything. Much of my shift today was essentially keeping myself busy through looking at things I could restock. My mom picked me up after my shift. And we went to the mall. So I could get a new screen protector. And a new case. A new protective case for my phone. We went to a phone repair kiosk, the Verizon store within the mall, and then to another phone repair kiosk. And none of them had a screen protector that fit my phone. At this time, a G8 ThinQ, nor a protective case for it. But the man at the second phone repair kiosk found that my phone screen was cracked. The screen itself was cracked. Though it was only really one line. One thin little line that stretched through much of the screen horizontally across, like how the video is now, and before splitting off into two divergent lines towards the right of the screen. The screen protector had received much of considerable damage to its top side, right around here. When you hold a phone like how this video is presented right now. And the damage was really only on that one side. Throughout that whole side, and it represented most of the visible damage to the screen of my phone. It took about half an hour for the man to fix the screen. And then afterwards, Mom and I went to the nearby Michael's to get a couple of pre-made frames for special pictures I got while we were at the New York State Fair, the Great New York State Fair. The other day. On the 23rd, if I recall correctly. Then Mom took me to her place to look for if she had a screen protector, a new screen protector for my phone, and after some time it turned out she did. So not only is my screen good as new, but it's also now protected. And while we were waiting for the screen of my phone to be repaired, I found a new protective case for my phone on Amazon through my mom's phone. And it was ordered. So now I have a new protective case on the way. My current one works fine, but I've had it for at least 2 years. And parts of it at the corners and sides have fallen off over time. Which to some extent creates a concern that if I were to drop it in the future, it might not be able to properly protect my phone. So I am glad I have a new protective case on the way. The cupcake I had not too long ago, it was initially in a separate container, exactly the same as those 2 slices of Chicken Charlie pizza were in while I ate them. Here's where I am currently on Elvenar.